To the millions and millions of hustlers around the world and those aspiring to be, say this is the young King Whidbee, and the man, the myth, the legend, he's no longer here. We'll get to that later in the show. But for right now, I wanted to talk to you, those who tune in to the show, those who understand life and hustle. With that being said, this episode I titled, I'm going to call it Snake-ish. And the reason why I say that, since birth, we were always taught this one thing about this one animal. Stay away from it. Since as a kid, you watched Aladdin, the end when Jafar turned into a snake, the Jungle Book with Kaa. Even in the Bible, Adam and Eve with the snake, and you saw what happened with that. Medusa with the snake in the hair. Look at her once, turn you to stone. You see, growing up, I didn't understand what people meant by snake-ish behavior mentalities, but eventually I will find out. You see, I come from Brooklyn, New York, where people do whatever it takes to survive. And growing up in a single-parent home, my mother fell, victim to the demons, the energy, the mood switch and changes in the hood, just like a lot of people. But this is when I would get to understand what snake-ish behaviors and mentalities is. You see, my mother was addicted to crack cocaine. And like I always say, I'm sponsored by drugs. I'm sponsored by the streets. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the person who I am. It's nothing to glorify. I never glorify it, but I'm not going to lie about or shy away from where I came from or what made me, My mother, of course, just like any typical person that's on drugs, fighting her demons, trying to cope, she would do things that wasn't good for her, wasn't good for her children, wasn't good for nobody. And these low lives, the drug dealers, they knew what they was doing. They would pick up on the weak. They would prey on the weak. And my mother, being weak, she was always a strong lady, but being weak to that drug, to those demons, they got the best of her. And I used to watch people pull up, call my mother's name, Daphne. My mother looking out the window, telling them to come up. And the crazy part about it was, you don't get nothing free from in the ghetto from nobody, not even a handshake. A handshake usually comes with, oh, you owe me, But these dudes, they will pull up. My mother would think she getting a hookup because they're giving her product, But little did she know, little did I know, my brothers and sisters know, they was testing product on her. Think about it. They didn't know if it was good or not. They said, here's this fiend. Let me give it to her and see what she say. See how it plays out. And that's the snake-ish behaviors and mentalities I'm talking about. You see this lady, she got 6 kids, 7 kids, whatever the number is, and you want to give her something that has the potential to kill her, that has the potential to cause her to OD, but they didn't care. And from that point, I always thought to myself, you got to watch people because people do not care. I always say now in present day, what happened to humanity? Humanity, that's out the window. It's been going for a long time, Throughout my life, I've seen and come across people that say they got my best interests at heart. They're there for me. They'll be there for me. If I need them, I got them. When I needed them, they was never there. But I always stayed true to who I said I am and what I was. When they needed me, I was there. I left, got sick and tired of the street life. Always felt like deep down inside, there was something more, there was something better for me outside the city limits of New York, So, follow me. I eventually went to the Marine Corps, got to deal with different personalities. But one thing One thing that tagged along with the pain in my heart, people with their snakish mentalities, people fighting to get promoted, people doing whatever they got to do to get promoted, people doing whatever they got to do to be seen in that light, people claiming to be friends, family, but backstab you. That's that snake-ish. It's not just in the military, regular jobs. People will prey on your belief that they have your best interests at heart. You know? It's sad to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. So as I progressed through the military, as I progressed through life, I met a whole bunch of different type of people from all around the world. Some people, they was true to their words. Some people, they were there. And I thank God for that. But those that switched up, I thank God for that too. And the reason why I say that, because every time I took a loss, I learned a lesson. Every time somebody left out that door, I was able to lock it and make sure they can't come back into the house I was building. You know? Think about it. How many times do you got to get bit to realize pain comes with every loss, pain comes with every win. But the time that you waste thinking that you're building something with people that don't see or don't want to get the picture that you're trying to show them, they have their own agenda. This is not beneficial to you. Snake-ish. I watch people climb the ladder. I watch people fall from high grace. But me, I stay true to myself. I had to learn time after time, year after year, day after day, month after month, week after week. People pretend, and I have to accept that. And I'm coming to you because if you haven't noticed, eventually you will. You have to get comfortable with knowing people will walk out that door. People will not stick to the words that they tell you in the beginning. People switch up. It is not no strikes against you. It's just maybe something they're going through, or maybe you overlook that snake. You tried to help a snake. It's not your fault, but people pretend. And you need to be accepting that people pretend. You see? As life continues and moves on, I'm focused. I'm focused on every aspect of what life brings me. The ups, the downs, the ins and outs. Either way, I'm going to live life according to the way I see it fit. I've lost a lot of people, friends, family. Yeah, it hurt me. I ain't going to lie, it hurt me. But I moved on. I watch people that I put money in their pocket. I fed their family. I put my life on the line for them. I put hands to people for them. And they switched up on me. My lady, when I get to the point where I'm like willing to risk it, throw it all just for revenge, she always tells me it's not worth it. Look at everything you got. And believe me, I used to have the mentality where if you cross me, I'm going to hurt you. But that was the old me. And the person I am now, I thank God that God showed me. Yeah, I might have lost some time and some money, but God showed me the path that I'm on. There's no more room for them. They was never there to assist. They never wanted to get to where I was going. They was just there for the ride. And once they got to their spot, their destination, they was hopping off that train. They was getting out of that car like Cuba, you know, like Cuba, boys in the hood, let me out. Why? I thought we was riding together, do or die, motto and best die. We do this together, right? But I realized a lot of people, they're not doing this. They're not doing this for you. They're not doing this for us. They're doing it for them. And I don't get you nowhere. That ain't get me nowhere. But we all live and learn. And we all learn and live. Ha. Think about it. Snakes, snakes, snakes. A lot of people fear them, depending on the size, depending on the type, the ones that have poison. Some people just don't like snakes. I'm one of those people that I don't like snakes. I'll go to the zoo, show my son the snakes in the cage. But if you tell me, hey, pick up my snake, take a picture of my snake, nah, I'm not doing that. And that's the mentality you got to have when you're dealing with certain type of people. You got to pick and choose. You got to be careful because people do pretend. So even dealing with people in the military to regular 9 to 5, but for me, 5 to 2:30 because I like to work early, get off early. Still dealing with personalities, backstabbers. But I never let that change me, Get into the music biz, it's even worse. Worse. You talk about snake-ish. It's like if you fall or you fell into a snake pit, like the movie Anaconda with Ice Cube, J-Lo, and they just all over you. That's how it is. You got to think that for me it's worse because I'm out here in California by myself, networking, meeting some people that's cool. I'm like, all right, we forming a bond relationship. Nope, same thing, snake-ish. But then when you get to that point where you realize what's going on, cheers. You get to that point where you realize what's going on, they switch up. And because I put myself in a position where I don't need nobody, I got videographers, engineers, there's artists all over the world that want to work with me. So when somebody switch up, I'm like, all right, cool. But it's the ones that you build relationships with, you're around their family, they're around your family. That's the stuff that, it used to get to me. I'm not going to lie. That's the stuff that bothers me because I don't trust nobody. But if I get to a point where I trust you and I bring you around my family and you do some snake-ish, it's hard to let it go. It's hard to let it slide. People will look at me like an ATM trying to come up, but I'm out here by myself, busting my ass, blood, sweat, and tears. Nobody helping me. I'm grinding by myself. A New York dude, Brooklyn dude, in California, going through all these hoods, getting my name up, getting my homies' names up, but they don't do the same for me. All these artists that I know, they're doing shows. They ain't showing me how to do shows. I'm putting money in people's pockets. They're not putting money in my pockets. They want a feature. They're not paying because they say I don't need the money. So I don't rock with them. Snake-ish, right? I can find ways to put money in your pocket, but we supposed to be family, homies. We got the same goals, but you don't do the same for me. So I had to dead them. And of course, like I said, I always put myself in a position where I don't need nobody. I like people around me, good, solid people, but I'm good. So when they find out that they can't do nothing to me, They dab me on social media. They unfollow me. They talk to people behind my back, but it gets back to me. Because you know how the streets are. You yap, you yap, you yap, and it comes back. And it's every single time because they cannot do nothing to me. The snake-ish. I used to be your bro. I used to be your homie. To people that's older than me, I used to be your big homie. And now you telling people don't fuck with me. Why? You don't tell them that you did some snake-ish. You tell them where it switched up, where it changed. He's on that New York-ish. Nah, I realized you was a snake. And I got to keep snakes away from me. And I say that if you ever get in a position where you're dealing with people and you realize it's not working out, that's cool. But if you ever deal with people that deliberately go out their way to stab you in the back, to try to stop you from moving forward, you got to dead that ish. No matter what, no matter who they are. Check this out. My brother, he raps. I did features with him. Not the one that put me on, not Chris. I did features with this guy. This dude used to do a web series. Head blew up, but he wasn't getting no money. Got kicked off the show. Still head in the clouds. I don't understand how he looked at me as competition. I don't understand how we're family, but you don't support me, but I'm supporting you. I flew from California to New York to go to his show to put money, hopefully in his pockets, because he was selling the tickets. But nope, it went to the owner of the web series. But I'm the bad guy because I'm financially focused. I'm not doing nothing for free. I was taught no handouts. You go out there and get it and bring it back. That's my brother. No support. Snake-ish. But here I am. Because I'm like, no matter what, that's still my blood. I got to support him. But I deal with that. And I had to accept it. That no matter what I do, he will never support me. Think about it. Your own flesh and blood will not support you. That's why I cherish those who don't know me, those who didn't grow up with me, those that met me on my journey, and they support me. I appreciate them no matter what. They buy the merch, they share the music, they buy the books, they tell me to keep going. You know that positive motivation I can't even get. I'm proud of you from my family, unless it's my uncle or my brother, Chris Kev. I had another brother. He was going through his ish. I was trying to tell him to steer clear of the drama, focus on his future for his family. Dude told me suck D. Had to dead that. It hurt me, but it is what it is. The music ish, crazy. But I'm not going to let those who pretend to change who I am. Fell in love. She was out for her own self. Tried to set me up, wanted me to lose everything because the story that God wrote for her, it had an ending for our chapter. In my chapter, I was supposed to keep moving on. Less. Her chapter, she was supposed to start over and figure out her life, but she didn't want that. So she did everything possible to keep me down in a snake pit with her. But like I said, I'm moving forward no matter what, and I hope you do the same. I hope you pay attention to the way people move, the way people act. Now, with that being said, because I don't want to keep rambling, snakes, 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 they shed any image that they have to fit them. Any environment you can find a snake in. So be cautious with what you do. Now, take a sip. Let's get into the man, the myth, the legend, the homie Jay Betts. I'm not going to talk down on him. I'm not going to talk ill about him. Because no matter what, over a decade of love I still have for him, even though things didn't end right. Like I said, we all go through stuff. We all come out of it either better, stronger, or worse. I pray that he comes out of it stronger. But for me, we're not rocking no more. That's cool. Some snake-ish happened. But I still stand tall, look glorious, and hope and pray that he realized I was true. I was everything that I said I am. Never did no snake-ish to him. Didn't expect no snake-ish from him. Money, I can always get it back. A relationship, I can't get that back. When I get to the point where I don't want to talk, it's not because I feel like I'm better than you or I'm above you. I don't want to say nothing wrong that's going to harm our relationship. But like I said previously, I don't need nobody. I put myself in a position where I do not need nobody. You see the ghetto claps? But I wanted people that I felt were genuine in my life. And as usual, when people get to their destination, they hop off, go to social media, unfollow me. I find out, and I keep it moving. Like I said, what do I look like talking down on somebody that I consider my bro? I really felt like he was my bro. So I'm not going to say nothing ill of him. I wish him all the best. And this is episode 5, Snake-ish. Yeah, we out.